You got paid this week, you saw the number, it looked fine, it looked pretty good, and then you watched it leave, rent, car payment, that subscription you forgot was still running a minimum payment on a card you've been meaning to pay off for 8 months, a fee you don't fully understand from your bank. And somewhere in there, taxes took a chunk before you even saw it. You're left with less than you expected from a number that sounded like a lot. And the worst part? You're not entirely sure why. My name is Nick. According to recent data, Americans lose an average of $948 per person every single year purely from not understanding how money works, not from bad luck, not from laziness, from a system nobody ever bothered to explain. Today we're fixing that. 15 of the most Googled financial questions answered clearly without the textbook language. By the end of this, you'll understand your money better than most adults walking around right now. Let's meet Alex. Alex is 26, earns $55,000 a year, and is confused about basically all of this. We're going to check in on Alex throughout because a lot of what's about to happen to Alex has probably already happened to you. What is inflation and why does everything keep getting more expensive? You felt this one. You're standing in a grocery store, looking at your receipt, trying to reconcile the number on the paper with what you remember paying 2 years ago for the exact same cart. The math doesn't work. You're not imagining it. You're just experiencing something nobody named for you. Inflation is simply when money loses purchasing power over time. The Federal Reserve targets about 2% per year, a slow, controlled rise that signals a healthy, growing economy. The problem is that from 2021 to 2023, inflation didn't walk, it sprinted. It peaked at 9.1% in June 2022, the highest in 40 years. Groceries alone rose roughly 24% between 2020 and 2024. As of right now, early 2026, inflation has cooled back to around 2.4%. But here's the part that trips everyone up. Inflation cooling doesn't mean prices came back down. It means they stopped rising as fast. The car doing 90 slowed to 25. It's still moving forward. That $4 coffee from 2021 is still $4 and nobody is sending you a refund. This is why just saving money isn't enough. And that's exactly what we need to talk about next. But first, there's something following you around that determines whether any of this is even accessible to you. What is a credit score and why does it matter so much? Alex applied for an apartment last year. Good neighborhood, reasonable price, exactly what the budget allowed. The landlord ran a credit check, the number came back, and suddenly the apartment had just been taken. Alex sat in the parking lot for a few minutes and felt the specific shame of being quietly rejected by a number. Alex's credit score was 638. Your credit score is a 3-digit number between 300 and 850 that tells every lender, landlord, and in some cases employer, how reliably you pay back money you owe. It's calculated by an algorithm that does not care about context, circumstances, or the fact that you were 22 and didn't know what you were doing. The score comes from 5 things: payment history at 35%, credit utilization at 30%, then length of credit history, credit mix, and recent inquiries. On a $300,000 mortgage, the difference between excellent and fair credit translates to $60,000 to $90,000 in extra interest over 30 years. Same house, same bank. The system charges you more for having less, a detail nobody mentions when they hand you your first credit card at 19 and wish you luck. One thing to know immediately, checking your own score doesn't hurt it. That's a myth that has cost people years of not knowing where they stand. Ignorance here isn't bliss, it's just expensive. But how do taxes actually work? And is the raise going to hurt you? Alex just got offered a promotion, an $8,000 raise, and before the excitement had time to settle, a creeping anxiety arrived. What bracket does this put me in? Am I going to take home less? Alex almost turned down $8,000 because of a misunderstanding that roughly 51% of Americans share. Some of them have actually done it. The US uses a progressive tax system. Under current guidelines, your income doesn't all get taxed at one rate. It gets taxed in layers. The first $11,925 you earn is taxed at 10%. Income up to about $48,000 is taxed at 12%. Then 22%, 24%, climbing to 37% only for income above $626,000. If